Average car payment in America is about a top $800 for the first time ever, and it's for a crazy reason that nobody's talking about. Everyone will tell you it's because people are wasting their money on luxury sports cars, but that's not the case at all. The truth is, cars are just getting way more expensive, like really expensive. This is a car my mom bought almost brand new in 2008, a Honda Pilot, and this is how much it costs. That same car today jumped up from a base price of under $30K to over $40,000, but most of them you're gonna find a lot closer to 50. An affordable car in 2025 now costs 50 grand. You're not getting a decent car for around 30, I'm sorry. But this is also crazy. For the price you can buy this same Honda Pilot for, you can also buy a BMW X3 for almost the same price, or a Mercedes GLC for almost the same price. I know it might seem like everyone has luxury cars, but when they're the same price as economy cars, why not? Did I mention they get stolen a lot less? Because we all know if you have a new Honda, Acura, Kia, or Dodge, that thing's gonna get broken into a lot, and you might even wake up one day and it won't be there. That is not a problem these luxury manufacturers have on their cars. Because of this, in some states, a Honda might actually be more expensive to insure than a BMW. Cars are just getting more expensive. The 3 Series used to cost this much. Now for a base 3 Series, you're looking at almost 50K. So yeah, maybe everyone is buying luxury cars now, but if I'm spending $1,000 out the door with insurance and payments, why am I gonna buy a Honda?
Hey, it's Meg, and I am a funding analyst, aka a funder, at one of the largest banks in America. I've worked for a couple of different banks, and what I do is look at car loan contracts and supporting documents day in and day out. And I've been doing that for the past 7 years, so I have seen thousands of contracts. So what I like to do is just give a little perspective, and I want to give you guys just a dose of reality in the car buying process, because sometimes we think, oh, it's this when it's really that. My goal for these videos is just to bring awareness and educate people who have no idea about what goes into buying a car. Now, in the first video I do agree with the majority of what he said. It's a given that, and I'm pretty sure everyone realizes that, with time, everything is just going to naturally get more expensive. That's inflation. That's why back in the 1960s, 1970s, people like our parents and other relatives may have been able to buy a house for like $50,000. A brand new car for maybe like $5,000. Bread was maybe 50 cents. And nowadays cars are $50,000. Some homes are like 5, 6, 700,000 and more. So just over time, things are just going to get more expensive. I do agree with the fact of what he's saying is that a lot of people are kind of looking at the numbers and seeing that, I could pay a Honda for $54,000 when I could get a Mercedes of a similar size but has more bells and whistles for about the same price. It might have to be used, maybe still new, depending on like what trim you get. So I think that's what's going through a lot of people's mind now. What some people aren't taking into consideration is that maintenance on a Mercedes, BMW, any sort of German or luxury car, it's going to be more expensive than a Honda. But he does make a good point with the insurance, because I know when I had my Kia, that's the car that I had for 7 years. I had a Kia Forte, and we know during the pandemic they had the Kia Boys and all that. And during that time, my insurance did go up a good little bit. Mine wasn't crazy, thankfully, because I don't think I lived in an area where they were doing that like a lot. So I think that's why mine wasn't bad. But yeah, like there was a time where people were saying that they weren't even covering Kias and Hyundais. So that is a good point. Your insurance might not be as far off from getting a luxury vehicle than getting like a Toyota, Honda, Nissan, or something like that. I feel like, hey, I mean, I know me. I know if I could choose between the two, I'm going to go for the Mercedes. But that's just me. I totally understand. But the difference is that I know that it would come with the high maintenance costs, and I would have to be prepared for that if I did make that decision. Now, what I disagree with him on is that affordable, while yes, 50,000 in some cases for some people could be deemed as affordable, but you could definitely, and that's another point I disagree with him on, is that you could definitely still get a good car for $25,000 to $30,000. Do not let that notion like go over your head and believe it, because you could definitely still get a car for that much and it still be good. Like the car I have now, it was $30,000 and I love it. Like it has everything that I need. Of course, there was a couple things that I wish I could have, but it wasn't necessities. Yeah, I absolutely love it. But it all just goes to show like, yeah, it's coming to the point where luxury and regular basic economy cars are kind of meeting up with each other. That's what we're facing in the car market right now.
So when someone says that they have a really low monthly payment on a really expensive car, just know one of three things happened. One, they either extended the term as long as they possibly could. There are some banks that'll let you finance a car up to 96 months. This is also known as financing for 8 years. The second thing is they put a shit ton of money down to get at a reasonable monthly payment. So let's say it's like an $80,000 car, they put like $50,000 down. The second thing is that they either traded in a car with a lot of equity or it was already paid off. And if you guys didn't know, trading in a paid off car is the same thing as a down payment. Not only is it like a down payment though, you also get a tax credit. The very last option is that they lease the car and they also put money down on top of that lease. So when you see these $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 cars being posted on TikTok, just know that the owner of that car is paying an arm and a leg or they put a bag down. And just to give you guys a quick numbers reference, if you buy a $90,000 car and finance it over 84 months at a tier 1 rate, with $20,000 down, your payment's still right under $1,200 a month.
Ding, 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 ding. If there's any video that you should pay attention to and always keep in the back of your mind when it comes to the car buying process and like monthly payments and all that, this is the one. Like he is spitting all facts because it's really true. And this comes back to the topic of like being realistic about things, because this is the only way on like 60, 70, 80, 90 on up $1,000 cars that you could get a quote unquote realistic payment. And of course that's going to look different for everybody. But like, let's say if you want like a Chevy Silverado or a Ford F-150, any one of those type of trucks, like if you just have regular credit, not excellent, even sometimes if you do have excellent credit, like if you're not expecting to put very much money down, or you don't have a paid off car or to trade in, or one at least that has positive equity in it, you're already going to be looking at $1,000. It might be a little less. No one in this day and age should be expecting to pay on like a truck like that like $500 and $600 and $700. It's just not happening. And like he said, you got to come with money if that's what you're expecting. Like I don't even know the prices of it, sorry, if it's either way more or way less. But like, let's say if a Chevy Silverado is pushing $70,000 for a mid-range one, I don't know if that's top tier. It might be a top of the line one. I don't know. But just for example's sake, like for $70,000 to get like around maybe $700-800, you would almost have to put half of that down. Because think about it, in some cases, a $50,000 car without anything down, like down payment, trade, anything like that, you're almost going to be paying $1,000 within itself for that too, depending on the terms. I'm not saying it's end all be all for everything, but yeah, it's like you got to put down money or you got to come with credit and a good trade-in. That is the only way. And sometimes it could apply to regular cars as well, because sometimes you'll have people who might drive a brand new Toyota Camry and they're only paying $300 something on it. That's because they probably put like $25,000 on it, and again, it's halfway paid off. It's kind of like it goes either way. It's like you got to bring the money up front or you're going to be paying a lot of money monthly, just like he said. And that's really what it comes down to. As more people realize that, I think the expectations are going to be a little bit, more realistic in a way, because it's just not possible for you to be under $1,000 once you start to inch closer and closer to $100,000 MSRP. I'm also really glad that he gave the example at the end, because that adds even more perspective to it, to where, just anyone watching the video could kind of picture it in their head, because I mean, to me, to be honest, like if you're buying a $90,000 car, you should never expect anything under $1,000. It's just like I said, you would have to put up major money for it to not be like on $90,000 to be under $1,000 for the payment every month. You would at least have to bring $50,000-$60,000 as a down payment. Now, of course, that could include, depending on your circumstances, of course, like he said, which is a good point as well, a paid off vehicle is the same as cash, because you're not making payments to the bank anymore on it. It's your personal possession, so you're selling it to the dealership. So that is also something to keep in mind as well. Now, tier 1, for those who may not know, that essentially just means that it's someone with excellent credit. Sometimes it usually will include people with good credit as well. It depends on factors to be in that range. Like if you don't have any delinquencies, your DTI is not a huge percentage, usually you could still get into the tier 1 range as well. But yeah, it's just, you have to come within. Now, in his scenario, I don't think that would be horrible. Of course, I wouldn't want someone to be paying $1,200 a month if they were to plan on paying it off. To pay that for 84 months, I would advise that person, if this were a real customer, to come back after you save an additional 20,000 more, to drop 40 on it, because I think that would be a whole lot more beneficial. I would probably only suggest this if the customer were planning to pay above what their payment is and apply it to the remaining amount to principal, because that's going to help you pay down the car faster, and it's going to offset some of that interest, to where if you do it, and if you would plan to pay it all off, you would pay it off a little bit earlier than 84 months. But yeah, I think this was a really good video to kind of help people who need that picture in their head to realize, okay, wow, I want to buy, especially people that want Range Rovers and stuff, like this is exactly what you should be thinking about. Like you got to think about 1,000 on up, any sort of truck, SUV. Always keep in mind that for the more money you want to finance, the more money you're going to have to come with to not get a huge payment every month.
Don't be shocked. You're shocked? You're shocked?
I'm sure that's what a lot of dealers think when customers are a little bit unrealistic like that. This is kind of pushing it to a lot of bit unrealistic, because just like I said in the previous clip, $50,000 with nothing down, and you're trying to finance that much, this person would be looking at almost $1,000 for their payment as well. And especially if you load up your deal with front end products, back end products, it's definitely going to push the boundary of $1,000, if not surpass it. But yeah, even to get $400 on a $50,000 car, like, again, you kind of have to bring some money to it. Now, I would say I could be exaggerating, but I think you would probably have to drop like 20 to 25,000 to get it to be that much. It's real. Like, it's hard to get a $400 payment on a $30,000 car. It really is. Because you have to think about it, you're adding your finance charge on top of that as well, which I haven't been mentioning in the other clips of the video. But that's what we sometimes don't realize, is that we're not financing. I mean, we are financing the price of the car, yes, but you're adding the finance and the interest on top of that. So that's going to make it more. I think to get a $400 payment without putting anything down, like, these days, you might have to have a car in the low 20s if you have bad credit. Sometimes it would have to be below $20,000. I'm just being real. I could be wrong. Like if you have excellent credit, or you have somebody to co-sign with you that has the excellent credit when you don't, you might be able to get like a car in the low 20s, but yeah, $30,000 on up, like you're going to be way over $400. You might not be that far off. You might get to like maybe like 490 something, 520 something, but I'm just saying it's not exact numbers, but you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, just try to be realistic, you guys. I would say it might be saying a little too much, but whatever you're thinking in your head, if you're wanting to buy a car, whatever you're expecting, probably add $100 or $200 to that number so you don't be surprised. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you have to go with it, but just expect that because it's expensive. It really is. But anyway, you guys, that's all I have for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye. See you later.